Hey everybody, welcome to the Real Estate Beat. I'm Mike Mina, and today I've got Dwayne Opaisa sitting in for Amy Adkins.
Hello, everyone.
Hey Dwayne, how's
Nice
it going,
to be
man?
here. I'm happy to be here.
Did you have a nice weekend?
I did.
Yeah. A lot of things are happening in the market right now. Dwayne's a loan officer on my team, for those of you who don't know Dwayne. And he's been with me for how long? About 22, 23 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's kind of the man behind the scenes, takes care of a lot of the clients. Kind of go back and forth a lot and discuss different things. And I think today's a really good situation where we can talk about some of the things that we see going on right now, because a lot of people are frustrated. So I'm going to start with a question for you, Dwayne. You can come back with questions for me if you have any. But you have two boys.
Yes.
Okay, that's really exciting. I have zero, by the way. If they were ready to buy a property today, would you tell them that you think this is a good time to buy and why?
Absolutely would. I would tell them that because, one, home values have always appreciated. I look at what I paid for my first house. I look at what I sold that house for. I look at what the house I'm in now. If they can get in and purchase, I tell them to do it, because that loan that they're getting at the high sixes or wherever the interest rates are now, that's not a permanent thing. Most people refinance more than once by the time they're in that property. Interest rates will come down, but that price is probably not going to come down. Not going to come down to a level that's going to make a significant difference. So I would tell them to buy, absolutely.
And then you think, the long-term appreciation is obviously a key. The fact that they want to buy something that they can afford, I think, is important. And I think talking to people like at the open house that I was at this week, and I don't want to spend that much. And I'm like, well, then don't spend this much. You don't have to buy $1 million house first time out the thing. Go and buy something for 5 or 6 or 700,000. Jump into the condo or townhouse. And I mean, I remember stretching buying my first house and it was 200 grand. I'd be buying that same house for 800 today.
Absolutely.
So I was looking at a property this weekend that was for sale, and I thought it was interesting. And I Zillow had it at $767,000. It's probably not worth that in today's market, but they paid originally $21,000. So I just did the math. It was 1968, I believe, they purchased that property. So I did the math, and it was a 6.67% appreciation over the last however many years, 32 plus 22, 54 years. So you look at that and you say, well, gee, no, that's never going to happen. Well, absolutely it's going to. Yeah. Grandma paid $3,000 for her house. Mom and dad paid 30. We'll pay 300 or whatever it is. Our kids will pay 3 million. It's all good. We got a lot of loan programs, and I know you take care of a lot of the paperwork on the loans. Tell them a little bit about the My Community Loan. I think that's a great program right now.
Yeah, that's a program. I actually have a client going with that now. They do not qualify with their income. Self-employed, doesn't show a lot of income, but they do have assets. This program, it's not a stated income. We just don't verify income.
Yeah.
We don't use the debt ratios. They do have to have 20% down and some reserves, but we're doing it, and he's getting in this property. Rate might be a little bit higher than a conventional loan today,
Right.
But again, once he starts reporting his taxes and his income, we can refinance him into another loan.
Great program for people who are self-employed, who just became self-employed. Great program for people who just got divorced and don't have a finalization of that divorce decree, and they don't have the 3 months payment of spousal support or child support, or they just went back to work and we can't verify the income yet. So there's a lot of great reasons of why, and the rates are not that much higher than your regular Fannie Freddie type of loan.
Where do we see the market going?
The market, gosh, where do we see the market going? I told my team this morning, part of Dwayne being part of my team, that I think we're going to struggle here the next few months. I think it's going to be tough because these are usually the slowest 3 months of every year. What the question is will the market crash? No. Will the market go down a little bit? Yes. I could see some spots where people are really going to push those values down and try to get their properties sold. I put my Rams tickets up for one of the games later in the year, and I'm like, ooh, the Rams are 3-5. It's harder to sell their tickets than it was if they're 8-0. It's kind of funny how that goes. But this is a little bit of a tougher market, but long term, it's going to be okay. So I figure by the spring or the summer, we're going to start to see interest rates drop, and we're going to see prices start to increase. So any little bit that you get off the price right now, I think you can negotiate with sellers, have them pay closing costs, help them into a 2-1 buy down, do whatever we need to
2-1
do.
buy down's a great option.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're really pushing right now more than anything else. So, and the best part of the 2-1 buy down is you have the seller pay the 2-1 buy down, which is basically paying 2.5 points on the loan amount. You have a $500,000 loan amount, they're going to pay $12,500. But if you get that credit and you refinance next year, you're going to get a portion of that $12,500 back, either for your refi or to pay your mortgage down. So I think that's super important. One last thing, the Fed moved rates last week, Dwayne. And when they moved rates up 0.75%, did interest rates go up 0.75%?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because it's everyone talks about it that way, that the Fed raised rates and now interest rates have gone up. Interest rates have been going up. We've anticipated the Fed raising these rates. So the interest rates have already been trending in the way that they're going.
Right.
So one does not necessarily tie in hand to hand with the other.
So I feel like we're going to have that December rate increase also, and I think everybody knows that that's going to happen too. What the Fed didn't talk about last week was any additional raises. They said that they're going to do that, and some people came out and said, we need to be careful here, we need to do that. The Fed raised their target rate to 4.6, and the rates got a little bit wacky, and then someone else said, oh, we got to be careful here, we don't want to raise them too fast. I've been doing this for 32 years, and never, ever, ever has the Fed not raised rates too fast. So meaning they go, and they go, oh shoot, we overblew it. Now we got to go the other way. And once we have that, and you've seen the same thing,
Yeah.
Once we have that tipping point, we're going to all of a sudden be going to the slide side. And once we go to the slide side, that's when things are going to get easy. What do we have? Once we get to that slide side, we're going to see then prices start to elevate again, I think. So we've got to be careful with everything that we do right now. We can't be afraid of the interest rate because many of us had bought at these rates before. I think I bought my first house at 9.75%.
All right.
Anything else to pop on that?
We have our real estate roadmap next week.
Yeah.
Looking
Is it
forward
next week
to
or 2 weeks? Oh, it's next week, next Thursday, the 17th.
Yeah, pretty much.
You are absolutely right with Nate Butcher.
Time
I'm
is-
so excited. Mike Mina, Dwayne Opaisa, The Real Estate Beat. Thanks for coming.